What is a realistic approach to stopping this kind of violence? Here with me now, Policy Director of the Firearms Policy Coalition and Young Voices Senior Contributor, Matthew LaRosiere. I hope I said that right.
Did a great job.
Oh, you're very kind. So it always worries me when people want to make knee-jerk reactions, particularly in terms of gun violence. And I understand the desire to stop this so it never happens again. The problem is so many of these draconian proposals end up punishing good people who are law-abiding and want to protect their lives and their families. And, you know, you have pointed out that when we rush into legislation like this, we can make some really, really bad laws.
Right. And it's not only that, but also, do you want to live in a society where this is how we affect major change in our policy? How did we go from a country that doesn't negotiate with terrorists to one that acts on the whim of them? I don't accept this as a good impetus for a major change that will land law-abiding people, previously law-abiding people, locked in cages. Like the universal background check thing. We often hide behind these reasonable-sounding names. It might sound reasonable, but then I ask a question. If I decide to leave with my brother, my sister, whatever, maybe they're not feeling very secure in their neighborhood, and I say, here, borrow this gun for 2 weeks. Should I go to prison?
No.
If the answer is no, then you might not support universal background checks.
Okay, and the other thing that worries me is also, you know, it's one thing to take a pause and figure out what we're doing wrong as a society. And I think we have to disconnect what we do as a society and how we react with government, because those are two vastly different things. And I think it is very appropriate to have conversations about how we're parenting, how we're interacting, the kind of questions we're asking of ourselves and of our family members, and whether or not we're being honest. The knee-jerk reaction to things like involuntary commitment, that kind of terrifies me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what more can you do at this point? And we're doing our best at Firearms Policy to put out information and research on this subject, because we do want to see us as a society get better. And like we say, as a society, we can make decisions, but when we move through law, the end result is to lock people in cages. And you really need to go all the way through. Ask yourself, would that law have stopped the mass shooting? Each of these cases, they passed a background check. Yes. Expanded background checks, would that make a difference? Would it have been enough for a red flag law?
Well,
I don't know.
And also, someone who's going to commit a crime like this, something so horrific, where human life means nothing to them, why all of a sudden do you think they're going to purchase guns legally? If you make it harder, you know, and one of the purchases was a straw purchase, correct?
Right.
So I don't know, man.
I
don't like the talking points, and I know it's really easy to immediately entrench yourself in that. But you know, we're running out of time. I want to know what's one thing, if it's not a law, what's something tangible that we can do to keep this from happening again?
We need to actually experience conflict management earlier in our lives. And I'll just say one thing real quick. If guns were the problem, the fact that guns and violent video games have increased steadily for the past 30 years and violent crime has gone down, if it tells you one thing, it's that it's not the guns. Something else is the problem.
Absolutely right. And we really have to address what those problems are on a deeper level that may exist outside of government. Matthew, thank you so much.